Welcome everyone. Most conversations about real estate focus on one thing, what to buy. But in this podcast, we go deeper than that. We talk about where people should actually live, invest, build their lives, why certain decisions shape us over time. Because real estate is never just about property. It's about lifestyle, timing, family, priorities, and the kind of future we're trying to create. Today's guest is someone many Filipinos already know through his work in real estate education, investing, and financial literacy. Through seminars, speaking engagements, online content, and years of actual investing experience, he has helped many Filipinos better understand long-term property investing and wealth building. He is the founder of Spectrum Investments together with Sister Isel, a real estate investor, educator, speaker, and one of the country's, if not the country's, most recognizable voices in property investing today. From his early investments in Avida to Alveo Properties for his family to multiple Ayalan Premier and other developers' properties, which he calls his emergency assets, he brings both investors' perspective and real-world experience into today's conversation. And what makes this discussion especially interesting is that today, we're not just talking about investment returns. We are talking about alignment. City versus suburb, central business district living, Ayala communities, non-Ayala communities, Novali's evolution, other suburban estates evolution, lifestyle versus pure investment thinking, and ultimately, how investor environments shape our lives over time. Joining us today is one of the most respected real estate investors and educators in the country. The one and only property guru, one of my idols, a brother into the faith, Carl D. Carl, welcome to the pod.
Good morning, Mike, and to all your viewers out there, hello. My name is Carl D po, and it's such a pleasure to be here in your podcast, Mike, and Carlos.
Thank you. Di ko pala introduce si Carlos, my son, who's say hi to
Hi guys, Carlos Tan.
Yeah.
You're so adorable that I see you two working together. I think as a parent, that is one of your parang goals in life, di ba? To be able to have that kind of relationship with your kids. Yes.
Carl, ngayon lang ako nasabihan ng adorable in my 56 years of living. Thank you. That will be a first. Ikaw nasabihan ko ba adorable?
Time.
Buti pa.
Spoken like a true salesman. Okay, let's start the conversation. Tell us about your real estate journey. Carl, so that will have a context where you're coming from.
Real estate journey. So I guess for all the viewers out there, it's your first time to meet me. So I started real estate, Mike, maybe 20 plus years ago. And it's not by choice. Kumbaga, I took up architecture. I took up architecture for the sole reason na hindi mo kailangan mag-aral. Yung pitch ng architecture, drawing ka lang.
Wow.
And if you can get away with it, that's it. No? So I took up architecture and I went to work. I was very, very, very blessed na yung first job ko is with Palafox Associates.
Wow. UST, di ba UST?
Yes, architect June Palafox.
Wow.
Just for context, he is a guy who's into planning. And, being in an architecture world and working with architect June Palafox. Architect June Palafox is, he plans cities, townships. He came from Dubai when it was still emerging. Ang na-develop ko, looking back, is the skill set of looking forward. In architecture kasi, brother, you're always looking at the future. You're brought to a site na madumi, sira, dilapidated, crumbling, and then you see what is the possibility. So that's my very, very fortunate background, studying architecture and working for architect June Palafox. Then, unfortunately, I realized na parang nakakataban to Parang I was so impatient. Parang, ang baba ng sweldo ko. I wanted to make more income kasi di ba kulang na kulang tayong budget. So I grew up in a working class family, So my parents talaga layo na Pero,
no, that's part of it. Go ahead.
My parents were encyclopedia sales.
Really?
Yeah,
Can you explain what an encyclopedia is to the young people?
I know most of your viewers are 90%.
Okay. Sige, tuloy na lang. Alam nila, alam nila.
young generation. Encyclopedia are
Alam
really
encycl-
thick set
Carl,
of,
hindi alam yung
I don't
encyclopedia.
know. Yeah. Thick set of books yan. Sobrang bigat, sobrang laki, and it contains information. So my parents were encyclopedia salesman, and these are very expensive. I don't know kung 10,000, 20,000. So very expensive back in the days, no? And then the downside of it is it's a roller coaster. Number one is it's expensive. Number two is pag nakabili na yung customer, it's a one-time purchase. So you like a roller coaster talaga. My parents would make a sale, yay, we would have money, and then after a while, wala na naman sale, and then wala na naman budget. So it's really roller coaster. So looking back, I think deep inside my subconscious is parang I want to find something recurring. Parang yun yung naging key ko, yung naging trauma ko. Na parang, ito kaya pwedeng recurring. So, when I took up architecture, sabi ko, parang matagal to. Medyo lazy ako, tamad ako. Parang I want quick wins eh. So, I eventually said, uy, since real estate naman yung architecture, I think I can have an edge selling real estate. So, I would go to work Monday to Friday, and Saturday sabi ko mag-apply nga ako. Mag-flyering ako for real estate just to make, side income. And yun nga, eventually the group of Mr. Junjun Nang hired me as a young guy, and I started to sell properties. These are like 400,000, 500,000 properties. And one of my big deals at that time, I remember this very, very clearly. This is like 20 plus years ago. Was a 900,000 house and lot.
Really?
Oh.
Saan to?
Somewhere in Cavitex.
Okay.
Cavitex.
Okay.
So malayo na yun nung panahon na yun. 900,000. And that was like a big amount for
Yeah.
me. Guys, I'm sure 900,000, di ba? Parang isang kotse lang. But at that time, parang wow na ako. And this customer, their business, they have a small pansitan in downtown Manila.
Okay.
Sabi ko, uy, parang gusto ko din magkapansitan.
Ganun naman tayo, di ba? Pag may clients na,
And that was my world. Parang 900,000 ultimate goal na to. Diba? Then eventually, syempre, you become aspirational. Sabi nga nila, if you wanna go into real estate, you go to Ayala Land. Diba? Yun yung talagang the cream of the crop. Diba? So I eventually, and at that time, Carlos, applying for Ayala was very difficult. It was not super open. Parang you have to know somebody has to know you, connect. So I tried my best to have a connect. And then fortunately, I found my way to this guy, Sir Amir. Sir Amir, hello! The guy who really changed my trajectory. And they said they were opening up this property in Quezon City, New Manila. Guess what property? Montgomery. So the criteria, I think, I'm just randomly, the criteria, I think you have to have good sales experience. You have to have, a track record of sales. Tatlo pala. Track record of sales, good experience, which I have none.
Mm-hmm.
Second is you can speak Chinese, which I have. And then thirdly, lives nearby in Quezon. 2 out of 3 guys. I was hired because I live in Quezon City and I can speak Chinese. No experience. Got into the company. 2002, and in Carlos, that really kind of like set up where I'm gonna be in the next 20 years. So that's how very fortunate to be able to join Ayala Land. Work there for maybe 15 years.
15 years.
Yeah. I think I look back at my career and I realize parang what have I learned the most out of many lessons working for a giant like Ayala Land? Siguro maybe 2 or 3. Number 1, big learning is the values. We realize na parang, you really have to value what is right for the customer. You have to do what is right in everything that you go into. You keep your integrity. Diba? You fail, you recover. I think that's one big learning working for Ayala Land. Number 2, going through the 2008 crisis. Yeah. I remember talagang that time, doom and gloom talaga ng 2008 crisis. Diba? Parang people were given early retirement. Business was really slow. But what I saw in Ayala Land was during the crisis of 2008-09, you were doubling our effort. Back, doubling effort. You don't give up. You just keep going and going. Keep meeting clients.
So crisis time yun.
Crisis to.
Sounds familiar ba?
It is. It is.
Bro,
Very
double
relevant.
down. Ano?
Parang I see Ayala Land double down their marketing efforts, double down the budget, advertising, promotions. And those two things, I think, affected my life na now, in my life, personal, if things are not going your way, diba? You're down or, you just keep pumping, pump it up again. Diba? And then, it will go down again. And in my career with Ayala Land, in my life, diba? It's really up and down. But ang difference lang na na-learn ko working for the company is when you're down, you just keep pumping it up. And then, nga, Mike, after 08, 09, we don't know what's next. Diba? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. It was the boom.
Boom years.
So I look back, the foundation that was set during 08, 09, brother, that was really, it's like a rocket ship that you kind of like, or parang arrow na you really have nice momentum.
Yeah.
So when the good times came, you were there. So I guess to all the viewers out there, that kind of moral lesson is very valuable kasi now when it happens again, like, when you're down, when you're in crisis, when your business is slow, your mindset is, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna double down. I'm gonna double down, even if my money in the bag is dwindling, double, because I know one day, when it goes back again, I'm there. So yun, Mike, ang aking mahabang introduction.
Wow. They're awesome. You should take the notes card.
I'm
This is
taking
gold.
notes.
This is gold.
That's the journey and I think the lesson. So fast forward 2019 and the COVID hit, diba?
Wow, ano naman
COVID hit.
Okay.
Then you try to learning from the Ayala, the model, say, okay, what can I do to pivot? What is my message during the COVID? So hindi naman ako told there. Kasi you have to acknowledge.
Yeah,
the
acknowledge that.
situation. What are the opportunities? During the COVID, I think people wanted a good deal. They were so bored at home. They wanted to see what's in the market. So we provided that, diba? Like si Mike then. So we survived the COVID. Diba? COVID, you survived it. It was sort of I look back and say, okay naman, na-rally natin yung COVID. And now, we have the Iran war crisis. So we just keep on pivoting. What's the opportunity? But you don't disappear. I guess yun yung journey, Mike.
So this crisis, especially what we're having now, is nothing new, di ba? We've been through many phases, di ba?
We've been through one. But I think what you need to always think is, what was happening during the crisis and what can we learn from it? Di ba sabi nga nila sa news, sa mga chismis, di ba, is SM North EDSA was born out of the EDSA Revolution crisis. So I think that kind of learning yung kailangan natin adapt. And then of course, during the good time naman, ang tinuturo natin sa sarili natin is, okay, it's a good time. How can we be humble? How can we not be too complacent? Everything is going well, di ba? But now, during a downtime is, how do we double down?
Ang ganda ng analogy with the arrow, di ba? Parang inaatras mo muna, you wind it back before it flies through the air, di ba? Yan ang mga gold you listen.
Wisdom, words of wisdom.
Okay. Thank you for sharing,
Thank you.
That
Thank you.
yung journey
I
mo.
hope your viewers picked up something out of that blabber.
No, those are
Also, we wanted to ask, at what point did you realize in real estate that it's just more than just selling properties?
More than selling properties. No? So I guess eventually kasi if your business you want to make it sustainable, diba? It has to be more than selling it. I guess for me, of course, you wanted to make a little bit of profit, because at that time I was very young, 20 plus, and we have so many goals in life.
a little bit is relative,
No. But early days, ito funny story. I wanted to go into rental properties. Kasi nga, you see your customers, parang it seems like lahat ng mayayaman, they have some sort of rental property.
recurring. That's
and my trauma in life is, I don't want to go into things na hindi recurring. So I started to look into rental properties. So, ito funny story to because my first rental property was 12,000 a month na income. And I was so happy already. Parang, uy, wow, ay, yabang ko na nun.
No.
1,000 naman. Kasi ang goal ko nun,
Landlord na ako.
Oh, landlord. Lord na. Ang goal ko nun, brother, is makover lang niya yung allowance ko, kumbaga salary at that time. And I was earning 12,000 a month. So parang when you get a 12,000 a month rental, parang, uy,
Doble.
double na.
Double.
And you know, these small steps, or what you call like a starting point, is really, really helpful. Kasi sabi ko nga, you have to start somewhere. Everybody has to start somewhere. So even if it's small, you look back and say, okay na rin. So when people ask me, Carl, what is your best property investment? Diba? Is it yung ganon, ganyan, yung big item, you made millions? Sabi ko, no. It's my 12,000 a month small condominium. Because I learned a lot of things using that property. How to be a landlord, how to leverage, how to use the bank, how to treat this whole mindset of renting. So at that time, I was so happy na 12,000 a month. Uy, recurring income, ang yabang ko na, di ba? Na parang you make money na while you sleep na.
Yeah.
And then eventually, you know, you wanted to... I remember there was a time I was making like 200,000 a year. In today's time, I'm sure, guys, don't bash me, pero that's not so big, no? Today, 200,000 a year. And then, you know, you eventually say, sana one day, diba? Yung 200 mo is maging rental mo rin in a year. And then eventually, you say na, sana yung nakukuha ko in a year, makuha ko in
In a month.
a month. Diba?
Safe. Ano,
And then, yun nga, so that's how you kind of like push yourself. And I remember this quote from one of my mentors, si Brother Josiah Go.
Greatest marketing guy in the Philippines. One of the greatest.
Marketing, really, really smart, very, very practical, very applicable yung mga lesson niya. And I remember when I was younger, yung quote niya na, be better than before.
Simple.
Better than, 4 words, Carlo. 4 words. But that changed my life. Be better than before. You just keep on going. Keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. Up until today, non-stop, be better than before, di ba? Ano mo pwede natin ma-improve na yun? Health.
Yeah.
Ano ba, ano yun, di ba? Be better than before. There's 3 sentences in that. Be better than before. Okay yun, we get that. Pangalawa, be better than others. Oh, di ba? You're not better than before, you're better than your last year. Then you say, okay, how can I be better than others? How can I, like, you know, level up? So you keep that going, be better than others. And then the last one is a deal maker. Be better than expected.
Wow.
Oh,
Home run na, home run.
Powerful.
Mic drop. Tigil na to.
so just to expand sa mga young viewers mo, no, be better than before, personal, diba? Be better than others, so you have a measure of where you are. And yung be better than expected is very, very much customer service, diba? So if your mindset in going to a sales is, I need to close a deal kasi I have a quota, medyo wrong yung skewed yung yung goal mo. But if I say, I'm gonna be here to impress my client, to give them something better than what they are expecting, hindi ka magkakamali doon.
And
diba?
sales will keep coming back, di ba? That particular client will refer you, di ba? Never ending ano yan. I'm sure you've had clients na paulit-ulit, refer.
This is for, you mentioned something, Mike, about a keyword. You mentioned about sales. So we came from a place where we were talking about being better than expected. Diba? And now you mentioned sales. Guys, sales is not the goal. Sales is the byproduct. You never go out there and aim for sales. You aim to give good service, you aim to give a good product, you aim to give a good experience. And then the sale will automatically just like, look, clap. There's a change in mindset. So siguro, you know guys, commercial lang, you know, aside from a real estate guy, I get invited to do mga talks for many industries. I have a talk next week for the electrical suppliers of the Philippines, mga ganon. I have a talk from a guy who does business on hearing aid, di ba? And they all
That's specialized na yung
specialized.
ano.
And they're all asking me, Carl, our sales are low. How can we improve it? Diba? Anong ginagawa nyo sa real estate to make it work? And I use that framework that you just mentioned, yung sales is just a byproduct of good experience, good product, good customer service.
Mm.
Okay ba yun, Mike?
Yeah. Awesome.
Mike, can I quick plug lang?
Sure,
I know
please.
your reach is very high. So one of my hobbies right now, you think I'm very excited to do is I have this program called 7 customer touch points to increase your sales through customer experience. It's a totally 180 degrees from the usual sales training wherein you're really bombarding your client with kailangan magaling ka magtanong, kailangan mag-pitch ka, tapos you answer objection. These are very para sa akin, panahon mo, Mike. Medyo 80s na technique.
Okay, yeah.
In today's world, panahon namin ni Carlos.
Hard sell kami. Hard sell
Panahon namin ni Carlos is, you don't even go for a sale. You go for the experience. You meet a customer, you send a certain feeling. Diba? When you do your presentation, you send a certain feeling, you make him feel that he's in good hands, diba? And then when you close a deal, you make sure he doesn't worry about the next steps. You know, Mike, there's a study here by McKinsey. It's very interesting. I'll try to put it together. There's a study in McKinsey right now wherein what are customers looking for right now? Starting 4 letters, starting with E. EASY. Easy.
Okay.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Why do companies make it difficult for their buyers to do business? And then on the other side, you will see mga social Facebook ads. Parang, uy, kilik ko lang mamaya before you know it, nabili ko na. That's how we...
Easy. That's the ano.
That's the easy. That's where the trend is going. So, if your business is still in the 1980s mode na sangkatutak yung documentation, kailangan na customer interrogation, I need, sorry ma'am, I need 45 banking days to reply.
Wow.
Commercial lang, bro. You know, recently my credit card got hacked. 3,000 euro, di ba? Nasa Pilipinas ako, I got hacked for 3,000 euro. I called the bank, sir, blah, 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 blah. 45 days.
Wow.
Banking days.
Wow.
I mean, if you're a credit card, shout out to mga credit, if you're a credit card company, and you put that, what's the right word for that? Yung na-scam ka ng 3,000 euros.
Victimized
Or
or
victimized ka. Hindi ka makatulog eh.
yeah.
Hindi ka makakatulog kasi parang, saan ko kukunin yung 3,000 euros, di ba? Hindi naman siya na-scam ako. Saan ko kukunin yung pambayad pag hindi na-reverse yun? So to put your customer in a 45 banking day, what that feeling? No? Parang anxiety
Yeah.
na nag-worry ka. Di ba? For me, is this really like you need to look at it for 45 banking days to maybe be able to analyze na nasa Pilipinas si Carl, itong swipe na to nasa euro, tapos yung item na binili niya parang hindi naman recurring sa kanya. I mean, do you need to look at it for 45 days? But I don't know sa mga bankers out there. Sorry, Mike, nag-rant
No.
But the reason I'm ranting is I want to share to all viewers na boom, easy.
And to the mindset of the client, we're all digital now. What you can put in input, pwedeng ma-stop yun instantaneously or ma-analyze 24 hours nga is parang sobra na, di ba?
45 days ako di makatulog dahil sa
Yeah.
krita. But good thing naman, eventually na-reverse naman because obviously, di ba, it's not my... I guess the lesson, Mike, there is going back to the word sales. If you want to make sales and new customer, why is that 45 banking days dispute in your procedure? Diba? Because if you can solve that in 1 day, 2 day, I would say, uy, ang ganda to work with this company. Diba?
I have a question.
let me
After that
refer my
45 days,
Yeah.
what did you do with that credit card? Are you still using it?
Well, unfortunately, yeah. Unfortunately, it's still...
Setup question yan, Carl eh.
Yeah,
Dapat hindi nasagot mo eh.
It's still with me. Mainly because na-hurdle ko naman.
Okay.
So, with my experience, I was also very blessed to work with a lot of mga mentors.
Okay.
And then you tend to try to separate your emotions versus the goal that you have.
But typically, di ba, ang reaction is, hindi ko mo nagagamitin to, I'll cut it in half. If 45 days ka hindi makatulog with that,
Ay, hindi. Isa-stop nila yung card mo.
Exactly. And
Oo.
then di ba, ang daming options. Just like, di ba, like villages, communities, ang daming options eh. So, and salespeople, di ba? So yung easy, that comes in. That's the mindset dapat. Make it easy for your clients, for your for investing or for whatever. It is friction yun di ba? Friction yung
You're right, friction.
Friction.
To all the viewers out there, no? So, this is a real estate podcast. So, but I like to talk about business as a whole. Kasi, di ba? And yung pitch ko nga palagi is, what can we learn from real estate? A lot. Because the real estate procedure is very detailed and we can learn a lot.
Sige, maiba naman tayo. I saw one of the stories that you posted a day ago. Yan, ninerve si Carla. Cut natin yun. Okay, I saw you in Santera. Ay, we saw each other nga pala in Benare.
Yeah, I was in Benare and this guy was swimming.
Swimming with my son.
Tanghaling tapat, nag-swimming. Sarap.
Then I saw him. Sabi ko, si Carl yun na. Okay. Anyway, I saw his story during that day, that afternoon. Si Santera property. No? You were there and there were two numbers that you posted there that hit me. Wow, sabi ko, this is gold again. This is something that I can share to my kids, to my young clients. Can you elaborate on that post?
One of my siguro biggest break in my career is working for Ayala Land. You get exposed to properties early. Diba kaya nga Mike, sa kwento ng office natin is bakit maraming sumasakses sa buhay working for Ayala Land? It's because you are given maybe a picture of the future. You get into that mindset wherein it's future thinking. And then you are offered these properties. Yeah? Kumbaga, I was offered a property called Santera in Nubali. Way back. I was a very young guy that time. 2000, to be more precise, Mike, 2010. 2010, this was in New Valley. New Valley was unheard of at that time, diba? You don't even know what's there, ano ba yan, nothingness. This property, I'll put the details so you can compare. 700 square meter for 10.5 million. 10.5. But the funny story, Mike, ito yung funny story. Okay, sorry, gulo ka. 10.5. Value today, 35 million.
Those were the two numbers which was posted.
10.5, 35 million. I will not mention to you the timeline kasi I don't want you to overcompute it. The point is, you put in 10.5. Before you know it, over time, it's now 35. So, I have so many lessons there I want to share with your audience, Mike. Number one is the capital appreciation of landed properties. Very, very powerful. Especially if you go into a place wherein the developments are happening. Ito palagi mong kinikwento to in your vlogs, no? You know the word capital appreciation? Ang root niya is appreciation. Very, very simple, guys. Diba? Appreciation meaning maraming may gusto, kaya tumataas yung value. So, bakit maraming may gusto? Kasi nakikita nila yung development, it seems to be it's accessible, parang maganda yung lifestyle there compared sa where I am right now. It's more comfortable. You might talk about this in your vlog. So from 10.5, naging 35 million. So from you're a dad perspective para, ito na yung pinaka parang what do you call that, parachute in life ko. Emergency fund. Your kumbaga, if something happens to you, madapa ka, or you get pushed off a plane, at least you have your parachute, diba? You sell it, you have 35 million. And that should be enough to kind of like give you another chance if you make the pack, diba? So that's the lesson there is, ideally if you're young, you have some excess, you buy something that goes up in value. And your best friend, your BFF will be time. Diba, Mike? But the funny story, Mike, is, ito yung funny story, guys, wala akong 10.5
Okay.
2010. I only had 2.5 million. Diba? So, how did it happen ba? 2.5. So, sabi ng boss ko, sabi niya, I think my boss wanted me to work hard. Sabi ng boss,
Double
utangin mo yan. Utangin mo yan, Carl. Umutang ka. Sabi ko, crazy? I only have 2.5 million na na-sale ko. And you want me to borrow 8 million. O tama, 8 plus 2.5.
3x pa yung uutang.
Yeah.
Oo.
So, eventually, I went and borrowed the money. Not because I'm smart, guys. It's because I'm super dumb. I'm not dumb, but I hindi ko talaga naisip. I was young. I didn't think of it as that much. I didn't think, as you get older, you think more. I was young, and then 2.5, and then pumunta ka na 8 million. So, eventually, when business is slow, you get to worry and say, tama ba itong ginawa ko? Shucks, yung 2.5 na matagal kong inipon, nawala. So my wallet is now empty. I'm now 8 million in debt. Diba? And that 8 million, guys, will incur an interest
charge.
of maybe 5 million. Let's say roughly 5 million. So Mike, you bought a property using 2.5, umutang ka ng 8 million. Crazy. Which will add up 5 million worth of interest to your property. How much is the property now worth? 10.5 plus 5 million.
15.5.
15.5 million. How much is it worth now, Carlos?
35.
35 million.
Wow.
So now you look back and say, and I'm saying this not because I'm magaling, naisip ko lahat yun. I was crazy for doing that. But now look back, parang, ayun na tayong parachute. Yun, Mike, yung aking early story in New Valley where you're very well known for.
But it's possible though. And it's been repeated and copied by many people also. Diba?
Mike,
But exception sila than the rule na many people say, ay, ayoko umutang. Ay, risky yung place. Ay, putik pa lang yan. Yung Santiago at that time. Or even a drawing pa lang yata. At 2010 eh. No?
Nothing neso.
Oh.
Pero Mike, I wanna expand on that. No? Kasi ayoko naman ma-misinterpret ng mga tao na you go borrow money and all. I guess the message there is, with the right guidance, the right analysis, leveraging in the bank is really a powerful playbook, kumbaga. Diba? But I think you don't go into it very carelessly or too complacent na I've seen people, di ba? Mga kababayan natin sa overseas wherein sumobra naman ang binili. Sabay-sabay. In the hopes na kumbaga kakabili mo lang ngayon, before you know it, bili ka na naman kasi kaya mo yung monthly, before you know it, bili ka na naman, and then everything crumbles down at the end kasi it's too speculative. So Mike, having said that, I just want to clear that at the end of the day, property, just like business, has to have a customer. Diba? Your product has to be something that will be appreciated by other people in the future, so they will pay you good money for it. If your condominium has to be in a location where there's demand for it to make rental income. So the fundamentals of the property has to be there. Not any random property will make money. Yun.
So that needs a clarification talaga, di ba? Hindi general no. So deeper insights to it, no. If you go deep, no, in sa Santiago, no, in New Valley. What did you see in New Valley that no, others may don't fully appreciate yet, no? I know, aside from the Santiago, hindi ko nababanggitin dito na there are other properties that Carl owns in the area. Okay, so tingin ko dun, among other areas, marami yan, but dito yata marami. Can you
Mike, to
elaborate?
All viewers, it's a wonderful question. So yeah, I guess the strategy is we've invested quite a larger number of our savings into New Valley. Diba? Not to sell you New Valley, but the analysis is why? Number one, because we cannot afford Metro Manila. That's really the heart and soul of it, Mike. It's not as if magaling ka na, ka kasi ka naman. You cannot afford Metro Manila. And then, working for Ayala Land, being in that training with architecture na the future will always come. As long as it's not too speculative or overly hyped. If it's realistically planned, realistically timed, it will happen. Because why? Because of human nature. Human nature eventually will move. Diba? Especially yung may kalya. They will keep on moving to a better place, a place where their lifestyle is better, it's safer. That's when there will be migration to newer places. In cities all over the world, you will have this new old town, and there will be like a new town. Yung mga savings natin, we decided as a strategy over time is parang okay dito because you see the development. You talk about this, Mike, regularly. First, the roads. Diba? The road is the most important. Without the road, then there will be no growth. And this area that we're talking about has roads, And then you see, may school diba? Pag may school na maganda, 5-10 minutes away from your house, people who are, let's say, in the busy Metro Manila can say, parang workable lang. Diba? And then eventually, you see SNR, Landers, parang, kulang, parang hindi ba enough na sign to na this will be the next city. And then lastly, Mike, I was very, very blessed to be mentored by Taipans, no? By really wealthy clients. And some of them are mga senior na. And then when you have a senior client, they have very deep history. You pick their brain and they say, it's the same story over and over again. Saan ba nagsimula yung early days natin sa sa Philippines? Binondo. And then what happened? People started to move further outside Welcome Rotonda. You know, if we live in La Loma, guys, so outside Welcome Rotonda. Why did we live in La Loma? Because we cannot afford Binondo. Ang taong walang pambayad sa Binondo, nag-move outskirt to Quezon City.
Yun ang suburbanization, yun yung suburban areas na.
You move it. Diba? And then, sabi nga nila, paglampas ka na ng Welcome Rotonda during that time, probinsya na yun. But now, it's Quezon City.
Correct.
Diba? And if you look at it, it's always that pattern, repeat and repeat. Makati, ganon din. Dati, pag sabi mo, saan ka pupunta? Sa Highway 54. Ano meron doon? Wala, nothingness. Iba, saan ka pupunta? May binibenta sa akin property. Ang tawag dyan, Valle Verde. Ano meron doon? Payanig sa Pasig. Diba? And then, further that, ano pa ba? Quezon City, Green Hills. You know, I just came from a meeting where one of my friends sold their Green Hills property. 300 million.
Yeah.
Cold cash. Oh, how much did you buy it? 1979. 1 million.
Yeah.
Diba? So, it's either you believe na this will not happen anymore. Diba? Hindi na mangyayari to. It's done. It's not gonna... Or you will say na, hindi. Somehow, it looks like, it's still happening. Diba? So that's why, the long story short is, we made our bet in New Valley. I would say, Mike, it's still a bet. Diba? Kasi early days, you don't really know naman na it's gonna happen. But, you see the fundamentals, the schools are there, the infrastructure is there, population. And then, over time, there will be the, what do you call that? Yung parang adoption. When you say market adoption, it means parang yung dating kwento, ngayon nangyayari na. Diba? You will have people like Mike start to move there. You'll have friends moving there. You will have people saying na, we cannot afford anymore San Juan, Green Hills, Makati, Bel Air, Forbes. It's too expensive. We move.
Yan yata, Carl, yung nakakamin yung first mover's advantage. Di ba? Yun ang doon yung suburbanization na yan, it's been a passion of mine to relay that story. From, nagsimula yan, sa Intramuros pa lang Ang outskirts niyan, ang suburban niyan, mga Binondo Chinese, parian muna, where the canyons are striking distance. Then the Christian field choice sa Binondo. That's why it's mga church.
Mas ano ka pa early.
Yeah. But it's a pattern
Yeah.
Then Old Manila. Then there's New Manila. Ang layo, same story. Ang layo niyan, walang sinong titira yan sa bundok na yan. Until Makati. The rich hanggang lang daw. New Manila
Yeah.
Swampland yan ba't kami pupunta dyan? And now,
flying white lady.
And now, Forbes magkano? 1B, 2B.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? So, I totally agree with you. Yung playbook na yon, hindi na mangyayari yan. You think?
I think you're right, Mike. For all the viewers out there, if you have better opportunities, that is faster, why not? Rather, you have better opportunities. But siguro, if you're the type of person like me na hindi naman tayo matalino, hindi naman tayo magaling magnegosyo, or we don't really know what's happening in the AI world, di ba? This can be a safer, maybe slower, but I think more conservative. It should be still effective moving forward in the future, especially down the road, di ba? Pag pinagpala tayo ng magandang government team, and I think yun na lang yung break na inaantay natin. Let's face it, diba? Once we have good leaders, if that happens, boom, boom, boom.
Young population and parang nakaabang na lahat.
Population, once a good leader steps in, tapos invested ka. Yun na. Early retirement na. Yan. I wanna expand lang on the first mover advantage, guys. So, not all developments can be a first mover win. You have to factor, guys, yung usability of that property. I've seen developments that are like off, hindi nag-jive lahat ng development. So, hindi lahat. I guess I wanna to guide your audience, no? There are certain places like New Valley, and para we've been talking about New Valley with Randall and Marvin from 10 plus years ago. And now it's really happening.
And we'll shift before we medyo serious yung talk natin. So we'll shift into a segment that I'm adapting, no. Try natin to. It's a fast talk.
Tito Boy.
Tito Boy. Yes.
Tito
So answer, just an answer. Okay? So
Okay.
fast talk with Mr. Carl D, the property guru. Condo or house and lot?
Hindi ko sasagutin yan because I need to expand. Both have advantages.
Rent or buy?
Buy, syempre.
Pre-selling or ready for occupancy?
Pre-selling because of the payment schemes.
Makati or New Valley?
New Valley because of the growth and the price.
Gated village or condo?
It depends. I would not answer that, but I want to expand that later.
Okay, expand natin.
Yan, expand natin.
Yes or no, BGC is better than Makati? Yes or no?
It's very difficult. Expand natin mamaya yan.
Yes or no, New Valley will be better than Alabang in 5 years?
Very difficult question. Grabe. I don't want to sound salesman-like, but using an analogy na lang of
Sige.
a car that is, let's say, a 2010 model and a 2026 model. The 2026 will be newer. Maybe not, I'm not sure kung better, but it's very difficult kasi it's cheaper ang New Valley. So maybe younger.
Sige.
Sorry, Mike.
Speaking about car, Lexus or BYD?
Wow. Let's go for BYD.
North of Metro Manila or south of Metro Manila?
South. Yan, malinaw yan.
Ayala or Rockwell?
Both are good.
I've been attending both awarding ceremonies. Parehong awarded sila sa Spectrum, si Aisel and Carla. Biggest investment regret? Sige.
My regret is mostly not pursuing an idea. Yeah. Because we're in the real estate business. In-expand ko na, Tito Boy, sorry.
Yeah.
Being in the real estate business, we're largely more conservative. Kasi you're familiar with, risk yan. Uy, pweto lang yan. So more of, I had this idea, it looked good, but I did not jump in. Yan.
Okay. Best investment decision made?
Land in New Valley is good. Cash flow properties also good.
Abrio, Santiera?
Santiera.
Trevi or Benare?
Binari ako sa mataas.
Most underrated developer in the Philippines?
Very difficult. How about you? Most underrated developer?
Artaland.
Oh. Makes sense.
Boutique developer na
Possible.
Tingin teknika. Ako.
I'm sure may sagot ka dyan.
Rental income or capital appreciation?
Rental income or capital? Pag wala kang pera, rental income. But once it's too much to handle, you go for capital appreciation.
Okay. Last question. Lights on or lights off?
Lights off.
Sleep to.
Sleep. Para magandang tulog. Mike, this is a very important question to ask that I would like to share with your condo or house and lot.
Okay, sige.
It's two different products talaga, brother. And I want to share I get this question all the time. Sir, condo or house and lot? If your budget is just enough for a condo in the city where you will live, make income, bring your kids to the school, you get a condo. Kung ang house and lot na katapat mo is malayong malayo, because that will affect the quality of your income. Diba? Kanina I was chatting with, I think, some parent, no? The environment you are is the most important for career growth. Where you're working, who are the people you're mingling with, the environment. I have this friend, yung daughter niya is a tennis player. Really world-class tennis player. And
Kasi Alex Ayala yan.
hindi pa si
Hindi ba coming.
Pero saan nag-aaral? Sa Spain.
Oh, yeah.
In the, what do you call that? The Rafa Nadal Academy. Because if you're in that environment, ibang-iba yung standards mo. That's your norm. So having said that, it's just that if you have limited budget, I would rather be in a condo na very tight. Pero pagbaba ko, bustling, di ba? I'm energized to work. Hindi yung 2 hours away and then you're so tired every day. And then your kids are not exposed to opportunities. Sabi nga nila, di ba? If you want to be a tech, you want to grow your small startup in tech, be in Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley ka. Yeah.
Di ba? Or if you want to be a manufacturer, be in Shenzhen or Chongqing, China. So, yun yung sa akin, condo house and that, from a end user point of view. From an investor point of view, I think landed properties really has a stretch for Philippines. But not, do I buy a 1 billion hoping to be a 2 billion? No, you buy the 20 million, 50 million. Kasi 15 million, 20 million can be 30 million, 40, kaya pa eh. Diba? So that's the game plan that personally I do. You buy the underappreciated and let it appreciate. That's the game plan. Yeah.
I think importante, especially for young people, is to start something na real estate, di ba? Even a studio. And you can even sell that no? Kung mag-upgrade ka na and your income supports it, a 1-bedroom and become a 2-bedroom, then baka yung circumstances mo will allow you to have a house and lot na sa suburban area. Dahil what I think you're saying is hindi one size fits all na ito ang condo is superior than a house.
Yeah.
Makati is superior than ano. It's circumstantial. Diba?
Love that, Mike. Expand pa natin.
Sige.
Condo. Because we also have condo purchases, no? Pero ibang-iba yung purpose eh. Parang bibili mo yung condo and say na, okay, kasi I want to have this. Diba? I want to have a place where I can go to. And eventually, my kids will eventually use it. Pero in the meantime, na wala pa, maybe parent ko muna. So yung pag ganun yung strategy mo, then it becomes more valuable because may certain purpose. What you want to avoid is to buy a property or a condo or a house and that, or I guess any investment items wherein there is no lack of supply. Meaning there's a lot of supply. Diba? Sabi nga nila, you go to Economics 101, what's the teacher teach you? Lesson number 1, supply and demand. So always monitor the supply and the demand. Diba? So if there's an area, na sinasabi ni Joey Bontok, diba? Hi Joey, is, this area, ang daming supply. This area, nawalan ng demand. Then that's not good. What you wanna be in is, parang limited yung space dito to put certain things. Diba? And looks like people are starting to go there. So the demand is increasing. Yeah, so that's how you make a good investment. So condo can still be a good property. No? So let me expand. No? Like right now, from what I hear, in the Makati area and in the BGC, there's a strong demand for working class housing. Diba? Hindi naman lahat can afford the 80,000 a month rent. Diba? So I think, kwento lang, side kwento. I'm not sure now, but maybe 10 years ago, there was a big mismatch with BGC, wherein you have a lot of office buildings with BPO, diba? Daming workers, and then all the condos are high-end. Paano yung mga workers? Where did they go? That's why if you built like a dormitory or a room sharing, super in demand and fast rent because you're addressing a real problem. And that's why fantastic. Ito, I don't know if you heard about this, no? Yung My Flats of Ayala Land. That's a wonderful, wonderful, innovative product. Kasi what they did was one building, multiple tenants sharing, diba? And then they're able to make it simple, yung utility payments, and I'm not sure they're using the RFID na. So pag hindi ka na bayad, hindi ka na makapasok. So these innovations are good, both sides, because they also serve the people working in BGC. So having said that, Mike, I think if you're a real estate investor moving forward 10, 20 years, always think about what problem am I solving? What market segment am I helping? Kasi as long as you're in that frame of mind, your investment should flourish. You know? Kasi you're solving a real problem.
May I correct you? They have condos and houses and lots.
Multiple.
And lots. So far, Carlos, what's your take on the knowledge that you've been imparted by the master?
Well, I agree. It's more on the client's needs. It's not something that you have to push, just one thing. You have to really probe and know what the demand is and where the supply is. So,
Yeah.
very well said.
Add on lang. So it's like a milk tea principle, di ba?
Ah,
When you open a milk tea shop in a place na wala pang milk tea, tapos maraming tao, yun malakas yung business mo, di ba? But if people started to open many milk tea na in that area,
Yeah.
not only does supply go up, syempre nagkasawa na yung mga tao sa milk tea. So that's why the demand goes down. So I think that is very, very much applicable sa real estate also. But, nakalimutan na ng marami. It became too speculative because the Pogo came in, parang so many people are making money, gusto ko na rin ng gano'n, nawala na yung fundamentals, Mike.
Isang question na skip ko. What age did you become a billionaire?
Talaga kailangan mo
Siyempre.
dramatic. At what age, ulitin ko, at what age did you become a billionaire? I'm not yet a billionaire, Mike. I'm not yet a billionaire. But I wanna, can I tweak the question?
Of course.
But I felt, maybe not a billionaire, I felt like a billionaire or a millionaire at around age 40, 43, 42. But not...
So last year lang yon?
Ano yun? I'm turning 50 soon. This has nothing to do with financial. So, I went through my midlife crisis, Mike, when I entered 40 years old. I'm sure you can relate to 40 years old. So, I was lost, midlife, what to do next, what bigger mountain to climb, what bigger car, bigger ganon, blah, 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 bigger watch and all. And then, I was very lucky to have a mentor. And then, na-change na yung perspective ko and say, hey, Carl, it's not always about growth, bigger. And then I learned about this one word, starting with letter C and ending with letter T. 3 syllables. Letter C, letter T. And that totally changed my trajectory in life. And that word is, guys,
Contentment.
So, contentment, Mike, I'll just use this platform to share lang. This is not for younger people like Carlos. When you're young, 20 plus, 30 plus, you go, diba? But what you want to avoid is, when you reach a certain point na parang you're okay naman, diba? But you miss smelling the roses. You miss what is in front of you. So, I guess I'm speaking to all the people, all the titos out there who are like me and Mike, na maybe you're already set, diba? So when I learned about the word contentment, I learned about this Japanese way of life called IKIGAI. So this IKIGAI, medyo naturo sa akin when I was going through my midlife crisis. Ang sabi dito is, you find everything falling into place for you. Diba? It may not be in another people's reference point. It may not be in how another wealthy person like Mike will interpret it, but it's your sweet spot. It's your happy zone. So I realized na parang, it seems like I don't have this yet, I don't have that, I don't have this sports car and all, but I'm happy naman. I'm happy. So that was a big turning point wherein I felt like a billionaire, even if I'm not yet a billionaire. When I started to see all the blessings I have, family, health, financial provision, the business, the opportunity, the friends that I have, like you, Mike and Carlos, the opportunity to be invited here and share with you guys yung naging experiences ko. I think that is a time I became a billionaire. Diba? So I want to share with everybody here na, you can already be a billionaire in where you are. Baka hindi mo lang napapansin. Yan. Call Mike. Pwede bigyan na psychological advice. So some parang change in mindset na parang, oo nga no, I'm already happy with what I am. Bakit pa ako tingin ng tingin sa kapitbahay? Yun. That was the game changer for me.
So sometimes kasi we put yung standards natin based on the others or what the world or what online stuff tells us na this is the concept of happiness.
Yeah.
Ito dapat may Ferrari ka, dapat may ganito ka.
Correct.
Dapat dito ka nakatira, dapat ganito. So
And Mike, I tell you, ever since I heard of that mindset, I don't need new shoes. I don't need a new watch. I just need something to maybe measure my stress level and my sleep. No, we need. Sabi ko nga, ito, ano lang, no offense meant. I go to luxury malls, nothing less. Pero, what am I gonna do with all of this? I don't really need it.
Pero nakita ka sa Louis Vuitton, nakapila ka. Ang dami mong bag dala eh. Di ba ikaw ba yun? Must be
Hindi
someone else.
Yeah. I don't have any like affinity to these luxury brands anymore. But of course, when I was younger, you think na yun yung goal mo, diba? Na yun yung aspiration mo. But that's why, yung nga na-mention mo kanina, diba? Iba nga yung I do volunteer work.
Yeah. I saw your story nga, volunteering in church, no. Yung biblical ni Steph Curry, Philippians 4:13 ba?
I'm not sure.
For something. Nakalagay sa shoe niya yun eh.
I can do all things.
I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I think that's about contentment eh.
Oh,
More than anything
yeah. A very powerful realization. For people who are like us ni Mike, na tito na. But if you're young, go, maximize all the experiences. I guess the lesson there is, eventually you reach a point and you be content. And say, okay na, diba? And now I start to appreciate. Kasi, if you're not content talaga, iba talaga eh, diba? Hindi ka grateful, hindi ka happy, malaki ka na lang naghahanap, hindi ka happy, diba? And then, you tend to like, keep on looking elsewhere where you miss out the important things in your life, diba? Your family, what you have, diba?
Anxious about the future and depressed about the past.
Yeah.
So yun yung depression and anxiety daw eh.
You're right. If you keep on looking at the past and you keep looking at the future and you forget the gift, which is today.
Kaya
Because today is a present.
Alam nyo guys, parang kausap po si Confucius eh. Na merong practical advice, no. So I don't think there are other questions. So we will not ask them for now. So I hope there's a part 2 of this, no. Before we leave, Carl, any parting words to our audience, no? Kasi I don't think we can land it much better than our last topic.
Siguro, so I hope you enjoyed this podcast and I hope you learned something. You know, whenever I get questions about property, I try to go really to the fundamentals, to the heart and soul of it, no. And if there's one imparting sharing, no, aside from yung mga kaninang sharing ko na, is siguro I'll share with you what's on my diary, on my planner. What's written here is, Carl D. January 2026. I dedicate 2026 to God. To serve Him, to make Him happy, and to make this year a year of testimony for Him. So Mike, I guess if there's one word I want to end this is, just do His business. Take care of His business and He will take care of you. I think that's the message.
Wow. Thank you, Carl, for that.
Thank
you for sharing that. And I'm sure that line will be i-rewind yan and papanurin yan all over again, no? And then again, especially to the younger generation, no? Na who are distracted by all of this, the noise around. Yung pinaka-core, guys, yung core lang. If you just know how blessed this guy is, na by following this yung shinare niya sa atin, no? Yon, so
Thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you, Carl, for I hope this will not be the last. I hope may part 2 to. And yung lunch natin, thank you again.
Thank you,
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
I think one of the biggest lessons from conversations like this is that there is no single best property, location, or strategy for everyone. Different seasons of life require different decisions. Some people prioritize growth. Others prioritize stability, convenience, space, family, or peace of mind. And the longer you stay in real estate, the more you realize that successful investing is not just about maximizing returns. It's about alignment. Alignment between your finances, your lifestyle, your goals, and the kind of future you want to create. Because a property can make sense on paper, but still not the right fit for your life. So whether you're considering the city, the suburbs, a CBD condo, or a long-term estate investment like New Valley, the question is not simply what should I buy, but rather where does my life actually work best? Carl, thank you again for sharing not just your insights and strategies, but also your perspective and honesty and your heart with us today. And to everyone watching, thank you for joining us in this conversation. This is Realtor Mike Tan with Carlos, and we'll see you in the next conversation. Bye.